Okay, that was a little harder than I expected it to be. I now have the old wire out and the new one in. Getting the new one in is a bit of a pig. The string that I ran through behind the old wire wasn't an awful lot of use. What I found is when I threaded the new wire in, it comes out of the bottom quite happily, but because it's got, so it comes out of there, because it's got this, what do you call it, coupling on the end of it, the coupling is straight, and I've got to get it to go around that bend and come out of this hole here. It's a bit dark so I can't really show you, and it tends to want to go straight on. There is also, let me see if I can show you on that, there is, come on focus, at the back of there, there is a little pin on there, and it's very difficult to get that piece there to go around that circle. So I ended up pushing a piece of wire through there. It needs to be a very fine piece of wire, so I've ended up with this stuff, and I've pushed that through here so that it comes out of the bottom, and then I've joined the wire to the end of the trim wire, and then pulled it through, and then you've got to fiddle and wiggle with it until it eventually comes out. It did come out in the end. It came to the front here, and then it gets jammed on this plate here. So then I needed to make a hook, which I found an old piece of wire like that, and I just made a hook on it, and then I could get hold of that and then pull it through. Once that's through, you've then got to get this little marker piece through. Now that won't fit through the top with the screws in, so I've had to take the screws out, and then of course it's free running on the wire, so it tends to disappear up the tube here, so you have to shake it and twiddle it until it comes down. And the way I got that to come out, once I've got the wire through here, I've pulled a loop of the wire out at the bottom with the coupling on, and then put some tape behind where the wire is, and pulled it from here, and it's then allowed the coupling to come out of there, and then I can put the two screws in and it stays put. So what I need to do now is it goes through the back of the handle here, and it needs some kind of locking device in there to stop this coming back. So I need to get a sleeve of metal of some sort I can wrap around there that won't go out of that hole in there, and also won't let the collar slip back. So I'm going to work on that now. Okay, I think I have a fix for this thing. I'm just trying to get you to focus. There you go. Okay, so I'm trying to stop this wire pulling out of that hole, and what I've got is, this is the top of an old spark plug. It's a little bit of aluminium cap. So I've cut the very end of it off, and then cut a slot in it. Come on, focus. Cut a slot in it, and then put a screwdriver in that to open it out. So I'm going to put that around the wire there, and then pinch it closed, and that will stop the wire coming out of there. And I'm hoping it's going to be too thick then to come out of the hole in there, so we'll give that a try. Yep, that has worked absolutely fine. So there's the end of the wire in there, and the bushing that I've just put in down in the hole there, and that's stopping the wire coming out. So I can now wind up my rigging wire and put a bit of tension on that, and it doesn't pull out. So that's all done. I'm now going to put the uprights on and then connect the wires up. So now I have my uprights back in place, so they're just bolted in on the top there, and on the top of this one I've changed the nylocks on the end of there, so they're brand new. And the wires have a hell of a job of, or a real habit of getting tangled up, so I had to unpick some of those wires and then lay them out as they need to be. So there's the wire that goes to the front, and then the one that comes to the back. I've bolted that back in place. I did have to put this tail sleeve back on because it goes underneath this wire, so that's in place, but it needs a lot more putting together yet. So that's the rear wires in place, and then the wing wires are coming out here and running out to the side. So the next thing is to thread these two ends through the holes here, and then marry them up with the hole in the cross tube, which is, you can see it's probably too dark, but there's a hole in there, and there's a bolt that goes through it with a cap on each end. So I'll get those back together and then we'll turn it over and start putting the upper wires on. Right, so I have my uprights back on and all the wires connected up, so the wing wires are straight, not twisted in any way. Yes they are. Let me undo that one. So that's the front wire going to the front, and the back wire going to the back through the holes and onto the brackets on there. Everything went together reasonably well. A little attack of Murphy's Law at one point that says anything that can go wrong will do. These things on here, these brackets on here, can go the wrong way round, and of course one of them did. So this one I had pointing upwards rather than down, so I've moved that around, and then when I moved that around it turned the angle of the upright round the wrong way, so the pin that engages with the base bar was facing out, so I had a little bit of fiddling about to do to get that on, but that's all in, and I've just rigged it all up at the bottom to make sure everything looks right, and we've got some tension on there. So now it's a case of assembling the upper wing. So I'm going to fold the frame up that I have now, turn it onto its front and open it out and start working on the back wing, the upper wings. The wing is now propped up on chairs, so I can work on the top of it. So I now need to get the king post in, which is here, and that bolt goes down through onto there, and then I need to put my trim wires in place and the keel. I now have the king post in. The king post, when I put it together, there is a bushing down here. It's too dark for you to see, but there's a bushing down there that broke, so I'm going to have to see if I can get a replacement for that. And we also had two little nylon washers that we didn't know where it came from, and I'm pretty sure they come out of inside here. You've got the bolt that goes through here, and there's a nut on the back, and there's quite a lot of space. I'm trying to get this to focus for you so I can see, so you can see what I'm doing. Inside there's a washer on that side and a washer on that side. Bit of a fiddle to put together, but when we took that bolt out, those two washers fell into the inner part of the wing, and then when we folded the wing up, they appeared, and we were wondering where they were from. So we're pretty sure it's from there, and that's the one that goes back onto the tail and pulls the fin up. So that's all the metal work back in place now. The new trim wire is here. So I now just need to put the wires back in place on the top of the king post and connect to the front and the wings, and we're pretty well ready to go. Okay, we're done. It's all back together, so I've got all the wires back in and it looks kind of wing shape. So I just need to get the battens now, tighten up the rest of the bolts, put some pins in it, and then go and test fly it.